Now, let's open up the conversation here and to kind of keep it structured for our listeners so they don't get lost. P.A.P.I has two wheels. They use the same wheel in two different colors, but with two different assessments. One's the ipsitiv, which most people are not going to understand, and one's the normative. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
The ipsitiv, this is the ipsitiv, this is the I profile, and if we jump ahead, this right here, hold on, one back, this would be the normative.
Yeah.
What the heck? What's the difference?
So we need to take one step back, Mark.
Okay.
One step back.
Sure.
Okay. When there are a lot of test publishers actually bring in ipsitiv versions of their assessments, except that with Psychology and the P.A.P.I, there are two distinct profiles, and we pulled them apart. So what that means is the ipsitiv version does not have a comparison on norm group, and we are asking you questions, and we're going to ask you to rank order the importance of the statements. That then tells me and gives me a wheel of what is important to you versus what's less important to you. It doesn't mean that the other scales you do not have a preference for. Mm-hmm. It just means that the ones that are very high are more important, or have almost won the race in the assessment. Mm-hmm. You clicked on it more and you chose it more, and therefore it is important to you. So the P.A.P.I, the ipsitiv version, we use only for development, really great for career exploration exercises, because I can ask you here already, need to communicate directly. Ease in decision making is high and important for
I'll
you.
go if you want, because I did this last week as well, and it helped me. This might help also for the viewer to understand what we're looking at. I had to break it down into two slides. So here you have the wheel broken down a little bit bigger, also in English, so that our viewers can figure it out. If we were to look at the ipsitiv. And by the way, this is me. So if anybody wants to know who the psycho is or the non-psycho that's being evaluated here, I've volunteered. So maybe run down, explain to us the difference between a role and a need, because you can see that in each one of these areas, ocean areas, right? They're broken down into sub-factors. If you see it in italics and in blue, so if you look over at engagement, you have inspirational, motivator, and work focus. Those are how I perceive my role. Is that correct?
Yes. The needs are things that motivate and drive us. Okay. Those things are quite close to us. I would even say sometimes even attached to our values. Mm. The needs are not going to change over time because these things motivate and drive us. They give us energy. But we want to create that. We want to create an understanding. So the needs of the ones in italics need to be upwardly supportive, need to achieve, need to influence. So that's my internal motivation. Is that correct? Yeah, those things motivate and drive you positively or negatively, depending. If you don't have your needs realized and there's a strong preference for those, then you experience need frustration, for example.
And the other ones, those are roles, right? So inspirational, motivator, work focus, persistence, leadership role, planner, attention to details. Those are more functional based characteristics. Is that correct?
Yes, and there's a bit more to that. They're your self-perception of your ability and preference in these areas.
Okay, so what I lean towards.
No, how you think you do.
Oh, okay. So that's what the ipsitiv does. It's kind of a self-reflection. What do you think about yourself, right?
For the ipsitiv and normative version, the scales are exactly the same, except the ipsitiv will force you to choose what is most important.
You have to set priorities.
Really looking at what's interesting for you here or not. The ipsitiv shouldn't be used for anything else than that.